Hey y'all, how you doing? This is the Energy of the Week reading for the week of April 12th, 2026. It is right now, April 14th. I will be posting this tomorrow, the 15th. I originally pulled these cards this past Sunday, which was the 12th, and the message felt harsh to me. I just didn't want to post it. So then I began to think about the ego and how we are who we are, and our lived experiences are what they are. And when we work, those experiences guide us. And that's not only okay. That diversity of thought, experience, and culture, that's what helps drive human growth and evolution. With spiritual work, we can grow to the point where it's possible to determine whether it's spirit speaking to you, through you, or if it's just you in there speaking all on your own. If it's your ego taking over. So this message not sitting right with me, I sat on it for a moment to think it over, and that's why I'm writing about the ego, because it can stop us from living in our purpose when we let it lead, when we let it stop us from taking divine action. And so here's the energy of the week, filled with messages from spirit and messages from me. It is what it is. For the world has gone mad, and I would like to wake up, but it's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. That sentiment kind of captures the feeling in the air right now. Most of us know what is happening in the world, and many of us are responding with either absolute hysteria or blissful ignorance. Right now, though, what we truly need is to stay informed and stay in community. We all have a direct line to divine wisdom from above. We don't all fully hear it or pay attention to it. Some of us hear it and ignore it, and those of us who do hear it don't always trust it. But it speaks to us. It walks beside us. It holds us close, warning, encouraging, confirming, guiding, and directing. It loves on us as only our higher selves can. And that wisdom has told us over and over again to connect to community and put all of our energetic focus on what we want to create. That can be on a personal level, but it's also obvious that we need to focus on building a society we want to see. And we need to co-create inside of community. We need to tap into humanity and find some togetherness right now. We need to build a world that actually works for all of our sakes. I was going to ask a question to focus the reading this week, but I struggled to come up with anything that seemed relevant. But heavy on my heart are those who we have lost, those whose lives are threatened, those who are struggling to keep their nervous systems regulated, and even those who are gleefully rolling along like everything is fine, because it's not, and even they know it. And also, it is fine. Everything really is going to be okay. And as hard as it is to even hear that, it's harder to hold on to it when we feel like we're on a roller coaster ride that will end with the apocalypse. But it's true. So, as I wondered what I should ask and what everyone needed to hear, I heard a tap in from Spirit saying, just pull. Just pull. And so I did. I just pulled the cards and didn't bother to focus on any specific question, but I suppose Spirit heard all of my rambling thoughts, and that was enough, because the message that appeared for us seems to focus on exactly what is weighing on my heart. For our tarot deck this week, I used the Fablemaker's animated deck by Misty, Bourne, and Areopagita. And for our oracle decks, I used the Woodland Wardens by Jessica Roux and the Herbal Astrology Oracle by Adriana, Ayales, and Josephine Klerks. First up, the Queen of Cups. She appears here to anchor our reading. She is the epitome of emotional stability, intuition, and compassion. She has mastered empathy, and she knows how to take care of those around her without getting sucked into the abyss of someone else's pain. She is the answer for all of us. Earlier, I spoke about the wild emotional extremes and how we are responding to these extraordinary times, including frayed nerves, dysregulated systems, or blissful ignorance, whether from overwhelm or arrogance. I spoke on the need to tap into our humanity, to find some togetherness and build a world that works for all of us. There is no better way to do that than embracing empathy, and there is no archetype that understands empathy, compassion, or emotional regulation better than the Queen of Cups. We can emulate her highest and best qualities to help guide us as we navigate the choppy waters that are pulling us into the future. She is the answer, and that is why she is the anchor. She serves as the narrator for this reading because the cards sent by Spirit weave a cohesive story and direct us right back to the calm, soothing, stable nature of the waters she is surrounded by to find the knowledge we seek and the answers we crave. Through the stable and loving eye of the Queen of Cups, the story that unfolds feels like an ending. The whole story, every card, feels like an ending. The Ten of Wands comes up next. Tens represent the ultimate ending in tarot. It's the culmination of all that has come before it, and the end is near. It's over, complete, and so our story begins with the end. And what's ending are heavy burdens and obligations. It says that the overwhelm is over and that we will be able to put down the burdens we carry. It speaks of release. These burdens, they are necessary. They are required. They are tasks that must be completed. They are tasks that are important. But they are tasks that we chose to carry all by ourselves and have become too heavy to carry alone. So the Ten of Wands shows up to tell us that yes, the end is near. And yes, we must finish the task. And yes, the burden is heavy and might get heavier. But it also tells us how to get across the finish line. Delegate. The load you carry, you see, is so heavy that if you continue to insist on doing it alone, you will surely fail because you are overwhelmed, overburdened, and inundated with the strain of it all. The Ten of Wands tells us that we must ask for help because it is available, ready, and waiting for us. Split the load. Let others step in and do their part. They're here. Put it down before you drop it. Put it down before you fail. And ask for help from those who have been waiting by the sidelines. Ask for help from those who have had the time and the resources to rest for a moment. Ask for help. The Queen of Cups acknowledges that asking for help puts us in a vulnerable state. So she also wants us to find practical ways to nurture both ourselves and others. Share one positive thing every day, both online and in this 3D world. Affirmations, music, ideas around how you have been successful in healing. It's especially important to share ideas on how to keep our momentum and remain grounded when we might not know exactly what to do or how to help. How do we catapult ourselves out of ignorance? How do we know it's safe to put down our load? Where do we even leave it, and who will pick it up? Our Queen confirms that whatever the task, it will be complete, and we do not need to worry. We just need to be obedient to wisdom. Let yourself be vulnerable. Put down the load. Take good care of yourself. Ask for help. You have done enough. To reassure us even further, we have the ladybug and the sweet pea. The ladybug and the sweet pea is here as a symbol of fortune and abundance, living in a garden that grows the sweetest of peas. As pests attempt to feed on the foods that nourish and nurture us, the ladybug says no thank you and feasts on that which saps our strength and power. She feasts on fear, and she leaves us with happiness, luck, and joy. The Ten of Wands is the ending, and once we put our burdens down, the ladybug flies through with clarity to let us know exactly what the future holds. Lay down your burdens, my friends. Let them go. Let joy in. When I read tarot cards, I do not read reversals. I work really hard to keep my decks in the same position. So if a card comes out in reverse, it really means it. And so, when the next two tarot cards came out in reverse, I was irritated and considered putting them back, but I knew better. And when I thought about it for a moment, the card that came out in reverse, the Nine of Pentacles, fits the story. The Ten of Wands, you see, was a message to those whose nerves are frayed, to those who are so overburdened they can no longer regulate themselves, to those who are trapped in fear and worry. And the Queen of Cups told them to lay down their burdens, take care of themselves, and let others pick up the slack. The Nine of Pentacles in reverse, there's a sense of irresponsibility with this one, and this is a message directly to those living in ignorance. Some of you intentionally chose ignorance because you are privileged and arrogant. Some of you because you're overwhelmed and just don't know what to do. Some of you aren't ignorant so much as lacking resources, so even if you could do something, you believe you don't have the power to do it. The Nine of Pentacles in reverse is talking to all of you. It says you are not carrying your fair share of the load. You are letting others stand in the gap and do the work. And it's time to pick up the burdens that others have been told to drop. The promise, if you do what you must, is the same as the promise for those who have been carrying the burden. Nourishment, nurturing. The glory of summer explodes and all you need surrounds you. Your visions and dreams move into reality. You are saturated in warmth, light, and blessings. But to receive this gift, you must do two things. Work hard. Pick up that portion of your burdens that your nerve-wracked brothers and sisters have been carrying on their own for so long they had to drop it. Carry it across the finish line. And while you do that, reconnect to the world around you and emulate the empathy of the Queen of Cups deeply so that you can nourish not only yourself, but those who need soothing the most. And here we need to remember that we need to forgive ourselves and that we need to take care of ourselves too, because just because we got a little bit lost, it's nothing to be ashamed about. We just need to step up and do the right thing now. And here comes our next reversal. The Seven of Pentacles in reverse expands on the Nine of Pentacles. It warns not just about irresponsibility, but of failure to think ahead and plant seeds in the ground at the right time. I can't help but think about that ever-prevalent quote floating about on social media these last couple of years. First they came. You know the one? It's the one where he talks about, first they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. And he keeps going about who these others are coming for right up until they come for him. But by this point, there's nobody left to speak up on his behalf. The idea is that if he had spoken up when it mattered, if he had stood in the gap for his community, especially those who were different from him, then he would have literally been saving himself. In this context, that's the idea that the Seven of Pentacles in reverse brings to the table. If you're one of those who has kept their head in the sand for far too long, if you are slowly waking up and sensing the urgency around you, the danger, If you have always been aware of the urgency and the danger and have been lost on what to do or felt powerless, this is the time to plan for the future. Plant those seeds, build a garden, not just for yourself. Build a community garden. Ask what your friends and neighbors need. Let them know you are here for them and ask them to join the network that will help us sustain ourselves while we evolve and build something beautiful together. Deep within, you have what it takes to figure out the next steps because the Queen of Cups tells us she has sent you what you need to help harmonize and heal your thoughts. Gotu kola is an herb shaped like the human brain. It is used to improve cognitive functioning, to increase focus and performance. It is here to alleviate the nervous stress you might feel, even though you have been pretending to be ignorant. It is here to dissolve the fog you were existing in and rejuvenate you. This herb is associated with the planet Mercury, the messenger of the gods, and that is fitting because Mercury will help stimulate your intellect and come up with insights you thought were beyond you. You are being led into a more aware and ascended state. You must let stillness surround you so that you can hear the messages and do the inner work. The shadows are being illuminated. There's nowhere else to hide your head, no more denials to hold on to. Let Gotu kola wake you up and stimulate that connection to your higher consciousness. The Queen of Cups both begins and ends this reading. She is our narrator. She is our wisdom. She tells us the story. Take care of ourselves. Nourish and nurture self and others. If you have been carrying a heavy load and your nerves are frayed, put the load down and let others pick it up. If you have been unaware, let yourself awaken. Pick up the burdens others have been carrying on your behalf. Connect. Connect to your community, to your inner self, to your higher self. Let that connection inform your next steps so you can think ahead, plan, and plant the gardens that are sure to bring abundant beauty and nourishment once we see our hard work explode in growth under the summer sun. Align with the guidance Spirit feeds us. Protect your community and take good care. That's it. That's all. Harsh and lovely and beautiful and real. All the love, people. All the love. Good night.